My hat! All right, so let's just say you just submerged your vehicle and you weren't supposed to, just like me. So the first thing you want to do is power off. So power's already off. Disconnect the battery, take the battery out. All right, so the battery, I'll check in a bit, but one of the things, okay, good, okay, that looks good. I'm just gonna douse this with WD-40, and that's because WD-40 is a water displacement. Now this is the regular stuff, there's also a silicone based. All right, so now I'm just gonna set the battery aside, let it dry. Terminal's down so everything seeps out. Now this is your truck, you wanna get the electronics out as soon as possible. So we have to get everything out, motor, everything. So I'm just gonna remove all of this and this over here. All right. Now, these electronics, I'm gonna try them out because I don't know what gave out. I don't know if it's a speed control. It could potentially be all the electronics don't work anymore. It could be that just the receiver doesn't work. But there we go. All right. So that is there. Now I'm gonna pull the motor out. Well, actually, before I pull the motor out, I'm gonna remove these 3 screws so that I can drop the ESC. All of these screws you're gonna have to clean because everything's gonna want to rust. And the best way to do it is fresh water. And after that, dry everything up and then just douse it with WD-40 or a similar lubricant. You can use oil if you want, but WD-40 works. Like I said, there is a silicone-based WD-40. There we go, all right. So my ESC should come out, perfect. So now I just need to get the motor, and we'll have to pry this out. Funny thing is, I just fixed this truck too because that brace had broken. So I was just going out for another day of bashing. But here we go. So we have that. Now I have to open this up. I am really hoping it's the receiver that went out, but I'm not sure. See, the fan was still working, but nothing else was working. So if the ESC fan was working, it was getting power from there, but that means nothing, to be honest. But the receiver, I have extra receivers, and they're only about $45, say $50 versus a whole new ESC. Yeah, and motor and everything else. All right, perfect. So yeah, this thing's gone for sure. All right, so let's keep working on it. So the faster you can take it apart, the better. But the point of this video is, let's just say you do not have the time for whatever reason to take it apart. So always carry a can of WD-40 with you. The assumption is you always carry your tools. I always carry my tools. So as soon as that happens, just start taking it apart. There we go. Antenna. All right. That's there. I'll put the tube in there though. There's no point. Take it out. All right, we have one more screw left, and that's this here. And I'm gonna leave the servo in there for now. I'll grab that little piece, and I'm gonna disconnect this. I'm trying to grab the plastic, there we go. when I was hitting power, it wasn't powering off. So I'm thinking the ESC is shot, but really quick, there are bearings inside of your motor, and those can rust. So right now, first thing to do is just grab your WD-40, just douse everything so it doesn't rust. Let's do these as well. Anyway, there is a color difference now. See there, see there. Let's see if I can get it to focus. So there is a color difference now. That might be corrosion. That might be worse, but we'll see. So I'm just gonna set those aside. Now, at this point, once you're like this, if you have access to fresh water, just rinse everything down. And I'm gonna do the same thing to these. This is what I use to fish it out. So right now, the hose is on, but you need to get your tires off. It's very important. Now there's WD-40 in my hand, so the driver's slipping. There we go. Yeah, there's WD-40 on my driver. Here we go. Right, these are aluminum. I'm not worried about them. It's everything else that I'm worried about. The bearings, that's mainly it. So you need to take the tires out. Now this truck fell in the river. It was in there for a few minutes while I managed to get it out. Now these tires, I'm gonna just let them sit somewhere because they have to dry out completely. So I'm not gonna be using them for days, maybe a month, I don't know, it just depends on how the weather holds. And it's certainly not gonna be hot, so it'll probably be months. But the reason why is they are vented, so there's little holes in the wheels. Let me show you. You may not be able to see it. There it is. See where that foam is coming out? All right, so there's little holes there, and water gets in it, as you saw the water there. So the problem is you will destroy the foams if you leave the water in there, and you don't want that happening. Let's see. If this has happened to you, go ahead and put in the comments. What was your process? Were you able to take apart your vehicle right away, or did it take you a while to get somewhere where you could actually work on it? Now after this, I'm going to take care of the truck, but I'm just showing you something quick. All right, so you want to get down to this, and once you're down to this, I'm just going to hose everything down. Right, so the body's not a priority, so ignore that little bit, but these things are. Then once you have that, just try to get rid of some of this, and you're gonna have to use a towel. You're gonna have to beg your wife to let you use one of the bath towels. So that you can dry everything. But here, let's see. So these tires, they're all gonna be wet. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna let them sit and just let them dry. So I'm just gonna place some over here somewhere. Probably there, that's good enough. And we'll grab these two and we'll do the same thing. I mean, maybe I'll put them in the dryer. We'll see. Tumble dry. And you know, grab the whitest towel that you can find. That way you can make sure that you're really drying it up. I'm kidding. I don't know, I guess bleach will take care of it. But the main thing is for you to just try to dry everything. Now, a lot of things corrode. If it's metal, there's a high chance it can corrode. And what I mean by that is anodized aluminum, I'm not worried about. Bare aluminum will corrode. It will get a white film that forms over it. That's the oxidation. But surprisingly, well, I guess it's not surprising, oxidation on aluminum actually helps aluminum not oxidize further and break down. Unlike iron, where iron will just rust away completely. And that's what I'm concerned. I'm actually concerned with all of these ferrous parts because there are a lot of steel components here which are ferrous, right? There's iron in them. So this is what you would do. Just quickly, right, try to dry as much as you can. In the tub as well. But all the screws. There we go. All right, let's just try and dry that. Oh, I hope that servo is working. I don't want to tell my wife how much money in electronics I potentially wrecked. I don't want to tell her how I wrecked it. Oh wait, she was there. She was the one recording. All right, she knows. She just doesn't know how much. So don't tell her. Okay, well, it's good enough. I can't really get in there, so let's just say you can't get in there. That's fine. Now what I'm going to do, I shall set it like this, and then I'm just going to douse screws, parts, pretty much the whole thing. And, you know, I'm hoping for the bearings as well, joints, those little pieces. So anywhere you see some form of metal, just douse it in WD-40. Anywhere where you remember there are bearings, do that as well. Do not inhale this. All right, in there, in here, in there, in there. All right. Oh, forget about these. Inside. Yeah. Right. So. Yeah, you really don't want rusty screws. Or maybe you do, I don't know, I don't. So you're gonna have to rebuild everything, shocks, everything. And that's it. So then after this, you would just kind of let it sit, dry it off, just let it sit for a little. And I'm just gonna start wiping it off again. And so, I mean, the main thing is to get as much of the dirty water, mud, etc. off of the vehicle. Once you do that, then your goal is to try to get it to your bench and disassemble it as fast as possible or as soon as possible, and then just bathe those bearings in a lubricant. I mean, this is all covered in WD-40 now. And the reason why you still have to clean this, even though nothing rust, is dirt will stick to this like iron on a magnet. And you do not want that either. So that being said, your electronics, just don't even worry about them. Let them sit there for a few days, maybe a week. And then you can try running power. You just want to make sure they're dry. Maybe put them in some rice, something that absorbs moisture. If you have silica packs, for example, dump them in with some silica packs. Yeah, we'll see how this truck turns out.